Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emily, and today is July 1st. It is the start of July Camp NaNoWriMo. Already, it's July. We're gonna skip over how quickly time is just, ooh, that's a reflection. How quickly time is passing. I need to stop shaking my desk. Yes, today is July 1st. I haven't started writing yet. What time is it? It's about 10 o'clock. I haven't written yet because I was uploading a YouTube video and I had to make a TikTok because that's the only thing that's really just making my Kickstarter keep going. It's amazing. If you missed my goals video, basically, myself and a few people in my writing group are trying to get to 100,000 words in July. I have to set up my Camp NaNoWriMo page still. I just completely lost track of time and never set it up, and I'm going to put the goal at 75,000 words. While in the back of my mind, just sort of going, yeah, let's try for 100K. There are mostly two stories I'm working on. Obviously, in Dying Starlight, I can do the next novella in that. I could do the next two novellas for that. I'm outlining Project Viking. Don't know if I'll start it this month. I just really need to outline that. But I'm mainly writing a lit RPG about a mouse that lives in a fantasy bakery, and this one is just a fun project I'm doing to sort of practice writing lit RPG. It's a slice of life fantasy. There is no plan, there is no plotting. It's just sit down, write, and see what happens, which is an interesting experiment for me because I am not a pantser. Not at all. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to try to get 3,500 words today on the mouse story. Definitely going to work on the mouse story over the weekend, and I might start the next in Dying Starlight. That specific novella I need to do a little bit of plotting on because there are some parts where I'm not really sure how they all fit together. Welcome to the vlog. Let's have chaos ensue. Hi. It's very overcast outside, so the lighting is not great. Please ignore the fact that it is Wednesday, July 6th, and my camera is at 14%. Let's make this quick. I just really wasn't feeling in the vlogging mood the first couple of days. I've been a little slow on the word counts, but I'm catching back up. I was working on the little mouse side project, and that is generally slower because I'm pantsing it and I don't know how to pants things. But I have taken back to writing in Dying Starlight because it's hard not to work on that story for any length of time. This is novella number 8? My word counts so far, starting from the first, was 1,300 words, 4,000 words, 300 words, 1,300 words again, and 4,100 words yesterday. There's really not much to report story-wise. I'm having a grand old time writing in Dying Starlight and putting Aaron in the most awkward and uncomfortable situations for him, which is not difficult to do because everything is awkward and uncomfortable for him. But I'm doing social media this morning. I'm doing TikToks. So I thought I'm just going to say this real quick before my, 11%. I'm going to say this real quick before my camera dies on me. I don't think I'm going to be working on the mouse story as much as I anticipated last week. I'm sort of getting the feeling that that is a story I need to slowly chip away at, partially because I'm not a pantser, and this particular story, the way I'm writing it, I'm not outlining because there's nothing to outline. It's just like a fun slice of life to practice doing lit RPG. That means I don't really enjoy binge writing large sections of it the way I do in Dying Starlight or any of my other stories. So I'm probably going to be working mostly on In Dying Starlight this month and also Project Viking, which is my YA duology. The first book is basically completely outlined and I know exactly where I'm going. I just want to finish outlining book 2 before I start on book 1 so I don't write myself into a hole at any point. So once I finish the outline on that, I'll probably be doing In Dying Starlight and Project Viking mostly, and maybe just like chipping away at the mouse story if I need to switch my brain to something else for a while. I really like that this is good practice for me. I would love to be able to write consistently like 50K a month or something. I have so many books that I want to write and so many series that I want to write. Writing and publishing books is not just the drafting phase, so being able to consistently draft things so that they can be edited and developmental edited and line edited is going to be a good habit. So setting the goal so ridiculously high as I have set it this month is going to be quite good practice. Okay, I'm gonna charge my camera and get back to the social media marketing because TikTok has 100% been the thing that is making this Kickstarter take off. Maybe I'll make a video about that. If you would like a Kickstarter tips video, let me know. Oh my goodness, this vlog has been all over the place. It's now July 13th. I've just had so many ideas this month. I'm just trying to figure out what is a combination of the idea I'm most excited to write and the idea that will be the easiest to actually sit down and write, because I have some complex plots and then some less complex plots, and also marketability on everything, because finishing Project Fae, it's put a gap in where I'm putting my mental energy, and so I'm okay, I get to pick a new project, and that's great. But I have 20 ongoing ideas I could pick from, and when I say ongoing, I just mean I have the concept for them, and I could start outlining them and pick one of those ideas. Which, it's great to have that many ideas. It's not great when I want to actually try to decide to pick one. The mouse story I've been talking about was kind of an experiment, and at this point, I'm fairly sure that I will probably keep picking away at it, but I don't like the process of writing slice of life without a plot or without plotting it to begin with. At the beginning of this month, I set the goal at 75 to 100K because I was expecting to do a lot of that, because I was enjoying the process for the first couple of chapters and I didn't know how it was going to go. I was just being very hopeful about how it was going to go, and I've sort of come to the conclusion that that is not the way I like to write. That was an experiment, and I have gotten my answer about the experiment. It's not a great answer, but it is what it is. I have been working on In Dying Starlight. I've written, between the mouse story and In Dying Starlight, I've written 29,000 words this month. I also did not take into account when I was making this goal that I was going to have to do all the line edits from my editor for Project Fae, so I'm going to be mostly doing that today and the next couple of days. It's all just, it doesn't take very much brain power. It's mostly just fixing commas and whatever the editor suggests, but it is time consuming. So probably today and the next 2 days will be duds for word count goals, because I need to do that in order to get the proofs for my book and fulfill the Kickstarter. I knew I was going to have to do it, but it just sort of didn't actually register in my brain that that would take out multiple days of writing time, which is okay. This is why I do flexible schedules for my writing, and this time I was like, I can do anything. We'll see how it goes. I'm 14 chapters into novella number 8. It's 22,000 words so far. I'm almost done with it. 5 to 10,000 more words. It's a longer novella than the past one, but not the longest, probably. I technically could start writing number 9, but within Dying Starlight, I love this story so much, and I'm writing about one novella a month, partially just because of the web novel format, and partially just because I like taking my time in writing this. I write in big chunks of it at once, and then I'll take a little bit of a break from it, so I can come back and be like, oh my god, I get to work on In Dying Starlight. I don't want to plow through all these novellas and finish drafting it, because I love the process of drafting it, and I kind of want it to last as long as possible. All that being said, I have no idea what my word count is going to be for the end of the month. I'm sort of gonna take today and the next couple of days, I think, and try to reassess where I'm at, partially because I've got to take the time to do Project Fae anyway. And while I am doing that, obviously I realized the mouse story wasn't gonna do it for me. I've always wanted to be working on 2 or 3 projects at once. And right now I'm working on Project Fae and In Dying Starlight. Project Fae is going to be very, very done very, very soon. So I'm basically just working on In Dying Starlight. I would love 1 or 2 more things that I can decide is the smartest project or are the 2 smartest projects, and also start putting my energy into those. Project Viking is one of those things. But Project Viking is a story I'm telling from multiple points of view. It's going to be a more complex duology. It's not going to be as easy to outline. Thus, I am taking my time outlining that, and I will probably not start drafting it soonish. There's this other idea that's just sort of been in the back of my brain for a while, and I'm just in this middle ground of trying to decide what idea to pick, so I feel like I'm skipping to a bunch of things and dropping things, and I'm really not. All I really did was experiment with the mouse story and realize that that type of writing is not for me. It's really all I did, but I feel like I'm going, well, I'll do this and then quitting. Well, I'll do this and quit. I'm actually not. I've only done that with the mouse story, and that was an experiment. And I'm doing Project Viking. I just need more time to outline it. There's this other thing. I've been wanting to write a romantic fantasy for a long time, just a long-ish standalone fantasy romance. that's just fun. You know, I like those tropey sort of, I don't want to say Hades and Persephone tropes because that is so often very creepy, but when the Hades and Persephone trope or the Beauty and the Beast trope is done really well, they can be really good. And I always like those concepts, and I try to search out books to find those concepts done well, and I am often failed in my attempts to find books that I like. But I've been wanting to write one forever, and a vague concept has been sitting in the back of my mind forever, and I was given sort of the nudge I needed to actually start outlining something. I'm not gonna say what the book is, but I read a book that up until the 50% mark, I was so sure was gonna be a new favorite. I was, like, if you ignore a little bit of what the love interest did, you can just enjoy it as like pulpy, trashy romance fantasy. And it was like the interactions between the characters were just so good. It was like I was giggling. I don't even like reading very much anymore. It's a problem, and I was legitimately just giggling at this book, and I went to bed and could not write the next day because I wanted to finish it. I was so happy I was finding a good book, and at the 50% mark, it just took a dive. In every conceivable way, the main character suddenly became inexplicably stupid. The world building, which had always been kind of funky, but I could ignore it because it wasn't being focused on, suddenly came into sharp focus and I could no longer ignore it. Some of the side plots between the love interest and his brother was turning out in the beginning to be really cool. And that also took a dive and just ended up being, oh, I don't like my brother, I'm the bad guy. There was no nuance, and you could just like tell the author didn't really care about the side relationships. She just wanted a bad guy. And it pissed me off so much. I've read books like this before, but usually the way the second half is the way it is through the whole book. I don't think I've ever read a book that started out giving me so much hope to be good and taking that much of a dive. And I am going to hold a grudge against this poor unsuspecting novel for the rest of my life. That being said, I was walking the dogs the next day, just, you know, internally venting to myself about how disappointed I was about that book, and I went, I could write that book better. It was a very cliche book to begin with. The story framing was Hades and Persephone. There was a lot of really popular tropes. I'm like, I could do the Hades and Persephone framing with all those tropes and actually make it good. I could do that. And then I went, so why don't I do that? And here we are. That's the other thing I'm outlining right now, is the fantasy romance idea that I've had for ages. I feel like Project Faye was the passion project. Like, I wrote because parent-child relationships in books always disappointed me. This book, I feel like, is going to be, although a little tropey, a lot tropey, possibly, the book I'm going to write because romance in books often fails me. Platonic plot lines between like siblings and stuff often fails me in books. I've had this concept for a while, so I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna write down everything I've got, and I'm going to fill in the blanks. And I'm gonna write like a Hades and Persephone, Beauty and the Beast type thing that isn't creepy as hell, because that makes me angry too. A lot of things make me angry. We should probably just move on. So that's what I'm doing. I've written nearly 30,000 words this month. To sum up, I'm gonna reevaluate everything I'm doing for the next couple of days, and I will let you know where the second half of July is going to go. Okay? Okay. I feel like this entire Camp NaNo plan went off the rails so fast. And it was all because I was trying that experiment with the mouse story, and I realized it's not for me. That was most of what I was going to be writing this month, so I was thinking last night that I might end up pushing the 100K in a month challenge into August, because yeah, I know it's Camp NaNo right now, but the writing process is more important than when camp takes place. And I changed a little aspect of the inciting incident of the idea for this story. And I went, oh, there it is. There's the plot. There is like 70% of the plot right there. I've been brainstorming with a couple of my writer friends who are very enthusiastic about helping people come up with their ideas. I've been bouncing ideas back and forth, and I now have a little over 3,000 words of an outline and like idea dump document, and character backstories and stuff. I'm getting to the point of the outline where further outlining will not help me, and I just need to start drafting it because I learned the most about the characters and the world building and some of the plot ideas while I'm drafting it. This started off as wanting to write a fantasy romance that was like 90% romance and 10% outside plot, and that has slowly evolved into probably like 50% romance and 50% outside plot. There's going to be both points of view now. I feel like so much has changed in like, I don't even know, less than a week since I talked to you guys. I am so excited about this fantasy romance book idea. This is how I felt about Project Fae. This is either going to be a brilliant book or it's going to be complete madness. There's no in between. I am so excited about the characters' interactions and like their backstory and all the things I'm going to try to do with this book. This is what I'm going to start writing next. Between this outline, the little bit of the mouse story I did, and In Dying Starlight, today is Wednesday, July 20th, by the way. I've written 36,000 words this month so far, which is not bad at all. That being said, I don't think I'm going to get to the 75k, definitely not to the 100k. Depending on how I feel about the outline and how I feel about starting the story within the next week, I may just push this challenge into August. There was a reason I wanted to do this challenge more than just like my writing group was like, hey, I dare you. It's because I'm happiest when I write a lot, and I'm happiest when I get to just involve myself in the story as much as possible. So I was like, yes, 100,000 words, let's do this. I had very bad timing with deciding to do this. I feel like that Camp Nano video is just clickbait now. Yeah, it's the 20th, so I'm gonna end here, start up the next vlog. This feels like it's a good idea. This is the correct thing I should be writing next. That's all I'm gonna say, because I think I've talked too much on this vlog anyway. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, giving it a thumbs up and a subscribe really helps out my channel. The Kickstarter for Under the Earth Over the Sky is now over, but the ebook is up for pre-order, and I'm working on getting the physical books up for pre-order because Amazon doesn't let you do physical pre-orders, and Ingram Spark doesn't let you put pre-orders up until you have a finalized document. Formal petition for Amazon to step up their game on yet another aspect of self-publishing. But you can pre-order the ebook. There's also obviously my short story collection. It's available in paperback and on Kindle Unlimited. In Dying Starlight is now nearly 200,000 words long. It's up for free to read completely, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!